All right.
You want to sit here to introduce us? And then we walk.
No, they can hear my voice. People see me every week. So they don't need to see me again.
Okay.
All right. Let me just make sure we're all set up. All right. We're good to go.
Is it recording?
Yes, it is
I
recording.
haven't heard it yet, Cal.
I feel like my computer, and that's why I can say it's recording.
All right. Welcome. My name is Bradley Clam. I'm the director of the Office of Sustainability here at Westchester University, and I'm very happy that you have joined us today for this, the 10th presentation in our Spring 2026 Sustainability Research and Practice Seminar. We are honored to co-sponsor this series of talks with our colleagues in the Office
Yes. Okay. Like,
for Research
I'll be back.
Programs and our colleagues in the Sustainability Council's Scholarly and Creative Activities Committee. We have one more presentation after today, and for those of you who can join us, and I hope that includes everyone who's on Zoom right now and here in person, we are going to be in a different room. We will be on this floor of Psych Student Union, but we'll be in room 210. For those of you on autopilot, we'll put a sign up on this door to remind you to turn around and go back to 210 next week. But more importantly, let me ask you to join me in welcoming our speakers today. The Westchester Green Team and the Office of Sustainability have been collaborating since 2017 on a series of programs, and we are grateful that they have joined us today to share their work with Porchfest.
My name is Margaret Hudgings, and I'm one of the founders of the Green Team. The Green Team was actually a follow-up organization to Don't Spray Me. We got involved back around 2012 because there was a lot of mosquito spraying going on in the borough by the health department, believe it or not, and it took us quite a while to come to terms with it. We basically set up an organization, and you can see the signs here. This was our first one. We got that image, and it really attracted us a huge amount of attention. The first summer that Nathaniel is right here, Smith and I started doing this, we had 120 members put up signs in their yards and agreed to monitor for standing water. So that was sort of the beginning of our environmental work. And that was our first sign. The next year we had a sign that said, "Thank you for not spraying," because we really were able to make some impact. We had the support of the then Mayor, Carolyn Committa, who is now our state senator. So that's where we began, and we realized we had a wide network of people. We got people on the ground in blocks all around the borough to look for standing water and try to prevent us from being sprayed. So that's how we started, and then as we went along through the years, we collaborated with many other organizations.
Or CPD.
It shows our logos on there. We got involved with alternative energy and gardening, and well, basically whatever anybody was interested in. Carolyn Committa was interested in dark skies. She looked out her front window and saw that there were no lightning bugs in the park, or many diminished population of lightning bugs. And so she asked us to look into that. And we got in touch with Westchester University professor Mark Gagne, who set up a committee to work on dark skies. We collaborated with State Representative Pielli, and he has gotten some legislation through on this. So it's very much what people are interested in rises up, and that's the kind of work that we have been doing over the years.
I'm going to interject for a moment. Anybody who's joining us through Zoom, if you have any questions throughout, please feel free to call in.
This is Molly Hanford, who took on the Porchfest work, which is a huge amount, a huge project. We got into Porchfest because we decided that the way we tend to work was very much in line with a concept and an organization called Transition Town that started in Britain. And the idea is to look at your community, see your community as interconnected and needing certain things in order to promote the well-being of the community. So when we got into looking into this, and there are two other transition towns in the area, one in Media and one in Phoenixville. We did the brainstorming work, got people together, and came up with a list of 5 things we thought were necessary for Westchester. 2 revolved around public gardens and garden plots for individual people, which is something that we have done. One of them was a repair cafe, which we've tried a couple of times to have people bring items in to be fixed. We haven't done so well at that. But we decided on a community happiness event, and we decided to do Porchfest.
It was right after COVID.
That was right after COVID. One of our members is from Ithaca, New York, where the idea of Porchfest originated. And so that's how we started that. We delayed it a year because of COVID. And now this will be our 5th year coming up. Our first year, the borough asked us to estimate our numbers. And I'll let you take it from there, Molly.
So the first year was in 2022, and it was very grassroots. There were a few people who joined the committee. I was not part of the committee at that point. It was the hottest day in May. It was probably 90 degrees and high humidity. And it turns out about 2,500 people came. There were about 40 musicians. They'd all play. So the idea of Porchfest is that the homeowners in the southwest quadrant of Westchester, which come from basically the boundaries are Minor Street to Price and from Church Street to Bradford Avenue. So it includes the Everhart Park. There were about 43 bands and about 25 hosts all in that area who signed up to open up their porches to the musicians to come play. Musicians played for free. People came to Porchfest for free. They had a few food trucks, not many. And it was so well attended. The next morning I was outside and Margaret, who happens to live a few doors away, walked by. And I said, I just want to tell you what a wonderful event it was. And she said, would you like to be on the committee? I'm like, oh, here we go. So I started in 2023 and Porchfest has grown from 40 bands the first year. The last 3 years we've had, last year and this year, we're going to have in excess of 100 bands. The amount of hosts has grown to probably 70 hosts. And part of it, Porchfest also being sustainability and green, because we're part of the green team, is Margaret is sort of leads getting green porches. So of these 70 hosts, about 10 to 12 offer their porches for green environmental issues.
So we have kept on with that. I mean, that's one of our goals was quite a few years ago, when we were first getting started, one of our members was the woman who started Buy Nothing Westchester, which is run on Facebook and has been very successful in the area. And she said to us, one of the problems with green as a concept is that as soon as people hear it, they think boring and they're not interested in it. And so we have to do something to switch that thinking and make it appealing and interesting. So the first year we tried that, we did a strawberry festival in Everhart Park. And that went pretty well. So with our idea with the transition town, with doing Porchfest, we wanted to keep in the green element and use something fun like music to be able to bring our message to more people.
And you can't have, well, so the first year I was involved, it turned out 6,000 people came to Porchfest. And last year, 8,000 people. So green may be boring, but when you have 8,000 people walking around on streets that are closed to traffic, they're gonna come across people that have information about plastics free or clean water, and they're gonna have to ask, well, what's this about? So it makes it a little less boring.
And we have kept porches that are basically oriented through the green team, like we usually have a dark skies porch. We have a gardening porch. We have started plant wagons. Doug Talmay is one of the, I don't know whether people know Doug Talmay, he's quite well known, has several best-selling books, and he talks about native plants and planting native in your own yard. And he suggested plants on wheels, and we do have plants on wheels. We have a lot of wagons now, so that we can take them around town.
Literally, little small red wagons with plants on them.
So we do that as what we have a living landscapes committee that has the plants. We also bring in outside organizations of various sorts. We're working now much more actively on plastics, getting rid of plastics. We had a panel discussion here in the fall at Westchester University on the plastics issue. And then we have outside groups that want to get their message across. So we also think that it's very important, and as does Transition Town, to work with children. And we work with a lot of community organizations, as the slide show. We have connections with the Historical Society, Uptown, Chester County Art Associations. A lot of churches help us with Porchfest and in
Yes.
general.
They do. We have 3 local churches which open their doors so we can use their bathrooms. One of the churches, we have a dance group, Diane Matthews dance group. It's mostly hip hop, and she likes to do it in the street. But if it's raining, First Presby's opened up the doors for her to do her presentation there. But they've been very, very open doors, no questions asked. Oh, and parking, Nazarene has parking. The university has been very generous. They offer us a shuttle, so people can park down in 2 of the parking lots, and the shuttle runs all day. So people have a way to get to and from without having to deal with closed streets. Here's some slides. Oh, here you go, Margaret.
This is Earth Day. We're getting ready now. Today, of course, is Earth Day. We're going to be celebrating on Saturday. We'd like to invite all of you. We have a lot of activities this year. For the first time, we're doing a jazz concert at Holy Trinity Church with students from the Wells Music School, arranged by Heidi Ha-Young Lee. And there seems to be very great interest in that. There's a playlist that has been put out that has attracted a lot of attention. So that's going to be at the end of a March. We start at Westchester Friends School. We do collaborate with a lot of schools too, and Westchester Friends has been very helpful. They were very helpful to the green team in getting the plastic bag and straw ban passed. So we start up there, go through to Uptown, and then to the steps at the courthouse, then to the Methodist Church, where we're having another activity, this time a wellness fair. Last year we had a speaker who was originally a native of Palestine, who talked to us about how to keep your mental health in times of extreme stress. And people liked him very much and found that, his message really resonated. So this year we're doing a wellness fair where we have about a dozen tables. We even have forest bathing this year, thanks to Dawn. And we have tables by the county and the Sustainability Advisory Committee of the borough on what the governmental agencies are doing to promote health and well-being in the community.
Would you like to introduce Dawn?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Dawn.
I'm Dawn Maison, and I've been involved in, the Earth Day event that we're having on Saturday. And we're featuring before dinner the Haudenosaunee prayer, which is the Iroquois Confederacy, the Mohawk tribes, 6 tribes that came together. And Jake Swamp was of the Wolf Clan, and he said, we need to get this published. So it's actually a little pamphlet, and we'll be giving it away at the raffle. And we will have 18 people with posters such as this. This is honoring the fish. This is done by a local artist, Denise Vitillo. And there's a statement that each person holding a poster will say about the gratefulness for all that is of nature. And that we say these words before all else. This is of the people. And that also, and so there are 18 wonderful posters and sayings for granting gratefulness to the nature, to the natural world. And so that's a feature of our Earth Day dinner. And then the dinner will be international flavors. A lot, we have like 6 cooks, 5 or 6 cooks, and all sorts of international flavors. It will be in the same room as the wellness fair, so there's a lot of mingling and collaboration. And part of the green team always features art and inclusiveness and music.
Yeah, well, Dawn hasn't talked about all the things that she does. She's basically the creative force and the right-hand person who comes up with the awards certificates that we give out to people. And anything else we need refreshments. She did provide a lot of refreshments for the series that we share at Westchester University.
She fills in all the gaps.
That's right.
So these are some, that's the post, up on the screen, the poster on the left was our very first year, it's 2022. And the poster on the right is for 2024. And actually, I'm going to this is the collaboration of the poster for this year, which is also be made into a t-shirt. All sustainable materials. This isn't, but the t-shirt is. We have these boards set up. So the one on the left is just thanking all our sponsors. We also put them on our website. For each sponsorship level, they get certain perks, either they can put a marketing tent up or shout outs on social media. Nothing that we used to have banners and we've decided, no, that's probably not a good environmental thing to use. The piece in the middle is a map. So we have an interactive map on the website. So when people get there on their phones and on the map, when you click on a certain house, it will show you what band, a link to the band so you can listen to it and what time they're playing. And the one on the right is the actual physical schedule, if people can use the phones. Margaret.
There's my house and be out front. We usually have tents as protection just in case of bad weather. We did have one year that we had some drizzle.
We had rain, but 3 o'clock rain stopped and just thousands of people showed up. They were just waiting somewhere, probably uptown.
That's right. Well, what's amazing about it is the streets are closed and kids are all over the place and people coming with their dogs. It's just a real feeling of celebration.
These are one of the signs that we have 70 of these signs we've had made. And the woman she's not with us today, but they have stood up over 5 years with some repairs needed. But here's just some examples of some of the bands playing on porches.
The person who made the signs is somebody that has worked with me since I started the Westchester Cooperative Play School in 1972. And she made the signs with leftover paint she had. And it was right at the time that we were really pushing support for Ukraine. And it just happens to be their colors. So we've kept it through the years.
Here's some more bands. and we get it, a lot of the musicians are from Westchester. We have a huge, lot of them who went to the university who are still playing music. This year we have 2 or 3 different jazz groups that are present students at the university and previous students. And and then other bands are coming from Delaware County, New Jersey, Montgomery County. It's grown. The first year is a lot of just local. So here are the kids out in the street, and this is the bottom right one is the Diane Matthews School of Dance, where they do half an hour of her group does a dance, and then she introduces everybody in the audience to come learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I just
So-
want to say, as an attendee of the Porchfest, I was amazed at the variety of music. So there were opera singers from Westchester University and hard rock, just a half a block away. It was just amazing.
A lot of it is, and not to be disparaging, but it's a lot of middle-class white guys who pick up a guitar and they put a band together.
Yeah.
And now this year, a lot more coming from Philadelphia students, and we haven't been able to get the operas back.
There were 2 opera singers that
Yeah,
year.
I've asked
But you
every
didn't
year.
mention my cousin.
Oh, okay, there you go. She does digital, how would you describe her?
Europop.
Europop.
She's from Paris, and I met her through Ancestry during the pandemic when I was researching relatives. And she came over and sang 2 years at Porchfest.
Yeah, she can't make it this year, but we have 2 other Europop singers this year, players, whatever, what would you call them? Performers.
Yes. Right.
So every year, there are so many young kids in Westchester. They always want to make fun of it. So this year, and I think this is from 2023,
Yeah.
a bunch of kids, either parents, they made muffins and cookies and they sold them. And that one year, they donated their proceeds to the Green Team.
Yes, and it was $223.
They were
34 cents.
Very, very proud. And I have a memory over on the 300 block of Bernard Street where there were these kids, and we didn't have any money on us. We're just walking around listening to music, and they had popcorn and lemonade. And the young woman, she's like, "It's 50 cents or whatever it was." And I said, "Well, I don't have any money." "Well, we take Venmo." Like, okay, got my phone out. I did have my phone with me. Like, okay, we can handle that. This is,
Okay, this is Reiko Yoshida. I really count a lot on my friends, and I started the Japanese language program at Westtown School, and I have lots of Japanese friends, which we are benefiting from at our dinner. We're going to have 500 pieces of sushi at our dinner on Saturday night. Reiko got involved with making Native American journey sticks. And we were very surprised. We saw it as a children's craft. We had many people make them last summer, and the majority were adults.
if anybody doesn't know what a journey stick is, the native people used to take their walks or wherever they're traveling to and always have a large stick, and they would pick up things that they find along their way and put it on the stick as a memory of where they were, how to get back, whatever it might be. So we go around and plenty of sticks at Everhart Park. We go around and collect sticks, and we have all the makings of it, and we have it every year at Porchfest.
Yeah.
Thanks to Margaret. Can't read. Oh, the Westchester Cooperative has always been at Porchfest. They make strawberry shortcake. It's homemade. They offer it for free, but you have to get there soon because it goes very quickly.
They started it because they came to our strawberry festival and the first year, and it's become their signature item. They're trying now to get started. They haven't bought a store location, and it should be a full
It's a place
service.
the air conditioning in.
Yeah, it
It's-
should be a
it's-
full service.
They keep
grocery
telling us May. I'm like, well, they may actually get it done by May. I don't remember when this was.
2 years ago.
Was it?
Do you remember?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, we're a country where people take initiative. Many people in this neighborhood decided it's a good opportunity to sell something.
Okay, so it wasn't one of, it
It's
wasn't
not,
one of,
was not an
yeah.
official
Wasn't the
activity.
Scott, the soccer phone?
Yeah, I don't know.
no, it
Okay.
wasn't. But again, I ran into a host the other night. And he said, is it okay if I have a yard sale? I'm like, it's your property, you can, he said, it's 8,000 people, I can't resist. So, and there's another woman who has a business and she wrote me and said, I'll sponsor. Can I sell my wares? I'm like, it's your front yard,
Yeah.
please. Okay, so these are just some of the tents that come out. There's a, is that a don't spray me? I can't. Oh, this is the ambulance and the police.
Yeah,
Yes.
it costs us a lot of money. That's the one downside, and Molly has done an excellent job of raising funds. Last year, we paid about $16,000 to the borough for police and public works, trash removal, that
So
sort of thing.
we close about 13 blocks to traffic. And that takes having to have the police there, having roadblocks, which I have no objection to. Cost of it, however, it is what it is. They are super, super good. Every year, I just go around, introduce myself to all of them, and they're like, this is the best gig going. You get to stand and listen to good music and see people who are happy. So that's been, and one of our largest contributors since I've started has been the Westchester Downtown Foundation, which is now combined with the Business Improvement District of Westchester, which is why it's even more of a transition town type of initiative. Because Westchester would like to be known as a transition town and has plenty of initiatives in it getting us there. And the Downtown Foundation is very aware of that and supports us. They are our presenting sponsor this year. They've been our presenting sponsor for the last, this is their 3rd year. And we are very grateful because if it had not been for them, we have plenty of other sponsors, but they've been a big sponsor. Uptown Foundation has also been very supportive. A lot of local businesses. CTDI has always been a large sponsor. I don't want to miss people, but
Paisley's and
Paisley, Wendell, Blue Dog Printing. And then just people.
yeah, at the Master's Baker.
Masters Baker has always been,
Yeah.
some of the Turks Cafe this year, one or two restaurants every year. So it's, without them,
Yeah.
we couldn't have it. We could have it, just wouldn't have as many closed streets. Minor Street cannot be closed, and we have lots of musicians on that street. Price Street, we have a few, and that can't be closed. So there are streets that are open to traffic that also have music, but the majority. And there's a poster which I already showed you. Does anybody have any questions about Porchfest per se? I can't really answer a lot of the environmental questions, but I can answer anything Porchfest. Oh, Brad's looking to see.
Nathaniel? Nathaniel, did you want to read a poem today?
Sure.
Why don't you take my spot?
This
so that
is
they
what
can-
it's like. We're
Oh,
a very
okay.
collaborative group, and this came up this morning, and it's Earth Day, so Nathaniel has a poem to read to us.
In fact, we do not know who wrote this. It's a prose poem, very brief. I came off the internet, can't track it down. And the mention of forest bathing reminded me of how this begins. Starts Happy Earth Day, a reminder. We get to live on a planet where trees whisper warnings to one another through mycelial networks, where octopuses dream and whales sing, calling each other by name, where elephants mourn their lost, standing in silent vigil over the bones of their kin, where bees dance on the way to the flowers, and crows remember faces, never forgetting a slight, where ants build vast metropolises, cats purr at the exact frequency of healing, And the forest's first breath after a fire is a bloom of flowers. Beauty and wonder are everywhere. Life is more than we can imagine and dream. Walk softly upon this earth, offering all passion and love. That's the end. We're about community, as people have been pointing out. And of course, community includes all of the beings, all of the things in nature.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes. So I do the media and we have lots of these different elements that are combined differently than you guys have in terms of everybody's collaborating, but in different ways. You have an EAC.
Any what?
You have an EAC as well as media, don't you? Environmental Advisory Committee or Environmental Advisory Council, don't you?
On the green team, you mean?
In Westchester.
In Westchester, yes, a Sustainability Advisory Committee. We're very close to them.
Okay, so how are they?
Oh, really? Oh, great.
No,
How are
he's
they-
asking how they're involved.
How they're involved, how we're involved with the,
How you guys work together with them?
our past president, who has just had to resign because of injury, Karen Schlossberg, has attended their meetings. Over the years, Diane Hearn particularly, who was mayor, got us very involved and suggesting that if we wanted to get any kind of a legislative agenda advanced, that we should go to the EAC. One thing that we did, we went through them for the plastic bag and straw ban. And also because of the spraying atrocity in the borough, which we worked on for many years, and now it's just gone away. They've forgotten about it. They're not spraying anymore. But we went there because we found, one of our members found that there was a 1949 legislation that said that if you sprayed within certain distance of public schools, all families had to be notified. So we took it to our Sustainability Advisory Committee and asked them if they would put forward a resolution saying that the same guidelines should apply to private and parochial schools and preschools. And that was taken by them to Borough Council and voted on. And we sent Bernie Flynn, I don't know whether you know him, he's one of the, he is still a Borough Council member from Ward 6. And he took that proposal to the Health Department. And we were able to, not exactly through legislation, but informally to work on that. Because government agencies don't want bad publicity either. They wanted to work with us. And so it was something that we were able to sort of use soft power to get accomplished.
Plus the SAC is gonna be present in Porchfest, right? The SAC
The SAC
Yeah.
is,
gonna be at Porchfest.
oh, they are, they're gonna be at both Earth Day and Porchfest because they have decided that they're not getting their message out as much as they want to. Do you know Connie McAvoy from? She is she's involved with Uptown and she's also on the borough SAC.
So the green team doesn't necessarily work with our environmental committee, but certain initiatives
We
are
do.
worked on together.
And some things are a great success. We've gotten a lot of community gardens in place around the parking garage at Veterans Park. So that has worked out well. We just had a setback. We've been, one of our most recently planted garden has been removed from around the Justice Center as a security threat. We are now working on trying to see if we can modify that a bit, and because really plants are not a threat. We don't think, we think they're actually, for the health of the community, it's a much better thing to have plants. So that's something that we're working on. Do you live locally?
No, he's
No, I
media.
live in media
Okay.
and I'm the head of the Environmental Advisory Council there and have been since 2004.
Uh-huh.
And so in media, the Environmental Advisory Council or the Sustainability Advisory Council is the same thing.
Right.
It's the government
Oh, I see, okay.
board. We are essentially the green team. And
Right.
we're the ones that have organized eco tours and that kind of thing.
Okay,
But we have a very robust transition town. I think we were the first US transition town. And
Sari Stuber and, yeah.
yes, and Shari comes to every EAC meeting.
Yeah.
We work very closely with them, so that it's the combination of the two that are essentially the green team. But then what's really interesting for me to hear was how the Porchfest grew out of the green team. So we have the Media Arts Council, and they hold a Porchfest in media, which gives me the idea that maybe we should team up with them, because we had an eco tour that was scheduled for Sunday, but one person signed up, and that was the new mayor. But we had a very successful one last year,
Right,
Yeah,
so something happened. Also, the weather wasn't
yeah,
ideal. But we also have an Eco Fest, which is in the fall, which is organized by Transition Town.
you should definitely
Oh.
combine them.
Well, yeah, the EAC works with that as well. We're just one of many tables. But interesting about the Porchfest, because now the town has combined the organized yard sale on the same weekend as the Porchfest.
what's the attendance at the Porchfest?
Well, it's gotten bigger and bigger. I mean, there's
Right.
people all milling around.
Yeah,
And you guys have it right on State Street. I mean, you close downtown, don't you?
Well, the Porchfest is all over town.
Right.
And I don't think we do much of closing any streets.
No.
The streets
So
are
you-
just open.
that's the more
People
indigenous
around
way,
the sidewalk.
To be honest with you, Porchfest was usually, the streets are open, like the
Yeah.
West Philly one. Streets are open, they maybe close one block for food trucks, but other than that, they're usually open streets.
yeah,
But yeah, it brings out more people, so
Right.
if you can interweave,
Yeah, I think that's something, because oftentimes our eco tours or whatever, the eco fest is at the same time as, say, a music festival. And say, oh, that'll bring people in town, but they're in different parts of the town.
Yeah.
But if they're all mingled together.
one of the things that
Yeah.
we have found that I did mention, but now that you brought it up, what's it called? The Chester County, Montgomery County, Delaware County Art Studio Tour happens the same weekend as Porchfest. And in the beginning, we do have local artists right in our footprint. There was complaints that it's going to keep people from going to the studios because all they're going to be interested in coming in is listening to music. We're like, no. Part of the issue is they can't park right in front of the studios. If they buy something, what are they gonna want to look around? Anyway, we've taken care of the parking situation thanks to the university having the shuttle.
Yeah.
And we now advertise for the art studio tour. They advertise for us and it's worked out well. So again, just bringing it all, interweaving it.
and we really
Everybody.
did personal outreach too. We talked to the artists in the footprint to find out what their concerns were.
And mostly is parking.
And there's a lot of it was parking and also people wanting to have, be sure that there were activities like a really great band right in their neighborhood, right near them, so that people would be brought to the area. So we were able to, to communicate.
And we put them on our map.
We did.
So any of the local artists that have a studio within the footprint, they get on the map with an explanation of who they are, what kind of artwork they do.
Well, how about for the organizers, starting to find yourself conflicted when you're doing the organizing on the spot for the environmental things, but you also want to go hear some music.
So Margaret, who does the children's activities and the environmental activities, finds people to volunteer on those porches. I do all of the matching of the bands on the porches. So I reach out to previous hosts. If I need more hosts, I go door to door. That's my part. So,
Volunteers take short shifts, so they.
No.
Usually 2 hour shifts for information. The children's activities run 2 to 4:30. Most of the green activities are done by 5, so everybody can listen to bands in the evening. And then lots of people, including us, have parties afterwards. It's over at 7, and at that point, a lot of people get together and have parties at their houses.
it's becoming more and more difficult to get hosts to want to have bands on their porch for more than an hour.
Yeah.
Because they want to go out and walk around.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the ones that are having a party at their house, they're like, no, we'll take as many bands as you want. So,
That's like having a garden, where if you're a host gardener, you don't want to
can't
be
go.
there all
Yeah.
day, you want to see other people's garden.
also like
Right.
having a party and wanting to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it has worked. I mean, it makes me so happy to be able to walk around and everybody walks up and just says it's their favorite event in Westchester. And it wouldn't happen without all these different entities who help out. Volunteers are the hardest people that can come out, but we get them. They come. The churches help with volunteers. Rotary Club helps with getting volunteers. The university's not in session when we have Porchfest. We've talked about trying to do it while they're in session, but we want to do it in the spring, and that's always hard with final weeks and graduation. And so, but it works. Lots of help.
I have a question.
Sure.
So we've had the good fortune to collaborate with Don't Spray Me and the Green Team for going on 9 years now. And this may not be entirely true, but my sense is that in the earlier years of your activism, the focus was mostly on education and advocacy. Porchfest sounds like it's grown into an event that really requires a lot of large event planning skills. And I'm just wondering, how did the Westchester Green Team grow to add that type of skill to the more educational advocacy work that was at the origin of the organization?
It was an
Because they're
accident.
It was an accident.
I told her how great it was, and she said, here you go, take it and run.
And did you have any event planning experience beforehand? Zero.
She's done a great job. But
I'm a very organized person.
she is. Yeah.
I had the advantage of the year before to get all the documents that the person who set up the Excel spreadsheet had the bands. So I reached out to those bands first and said, would you like to participate? I had the host spreadsheet, so reached out. Margaret knows everybody in the Southwest Quadrant. Went to Margaret and I said, who do you know in this block? We figured out as a green team, we kept the footprint, correct?
Yeah,
we
we
kept
did.
the same footprint for Porchfest. I've increased it a little bit by adding Price Street. And then it was a lot of just walking through blocks and just knocking on doors or putting out flyers. Would you like to host? Because when you open up the doors to musicians, you get lots of people who want to play on their porch. So it was having a 6-person band. I need to find a porch that's going to hold 6 people. So that's the majority of what I do. And this then raising money. Raising money, I've tried. We do have a committee, but they're all working parents. Luckily, I retired 2 years ago, so I have more time to put to this. I've learned a lot, and it's been a wonderful, and I'm not shy. You can't be shy to be an event planner. And I just had to beg, plead, ask people if they could either host or donate money or volunteer. And if you're nice about it, it's a very, very wonderful committee. And even the people uptown, a restaurant, I reached out to a restaurant this year and I said, can you donate? Like, we would love to, but we just were closed for a month for renovations. And I just can't afford it. Like, no worries. Thank you. But they want to. And that's what makes it.
Well, it's fun. Everybody loves it. You see people who are happy. And
Yeah.
one of the other things we've done consciously is we don't have vendors. We don't sell stuff. Some people might sell
Well,
in front of
We sell
their
t-shirts and
house,
t-shirts.
but we have food trucks, but we don't advertise for people bringing in stuff. We
Unless
think-
you happen to be an artist and you happen to host on your porch.
That's right.
Yeah.
So because we really don't want people carrying stuff, it doesn't sell anyway, it's just not ideal.
But to
that-
answer your original question, it really wasn't planned.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
It
that's
was
amazing.
just-
Do you find that the success of Porchfest has strengthened that education and advocacy work of the Green Team? Is it easier to bring new members in, new energy, new ideas?
Well, we went through a difficult time with the whole pandemic thing. You know what it's like with any kind of an organization, you have the founding members who are really enthusiastic and informed, and that's what our founders were like. And we had a lot of people like Megan Shragley, whom you know, Mark Gagne.
Professors at the.
Yes, these are professors, people who are highly informed. Courtney Finneran, who works in hydrology, she's someone who knows the whole field. Rachel Davis, who was involved with the whole trash issue. So we had those people, and then when they fall away, the people that we got to come in were not as informed. It made for a more difficult transition. Actually, right now, we find that we're attracting a greater diversity of people. You should see who's cooking. This week for we have immigrants, a lot of immigrants from Bulgaria, Japan, India, Israel, a lot of places in Europe. I think many people now are hungry for connections and community, and I think people are seeing us as a place to go for that.
So it's changed.
That's
But
change.
it's-
That
but
is a
it's-
change.
Big change.
See something in the chat. I don't know if it's a question. No, just thank yous, and you guys
Oh.
are awesome. I'll leave the chat up in case a question.
Yeah, that community connection is really underlies any kind of resiliency, sustainability.
It's huge. And Westchester, it's not the most affordable place to live, but it's constantly, there's new families coming in. A lot of people who moved out of the borough to raise their families are now coming back to the borough because their kids are gone and they want to get involved. So, and I've noticed, at least definitely with the gardens,
Yeah.
that has been a huge influx. I think that part of the Green Team has grown, and people wanting to go back to natural planting has grown.
Yeah.
The plastics, I think, is a key issue. The water issue. I mean, the borough we have problems. The water is always going to be an issue, and I don't know.
Well,
Time will tell how that works out.
we network with places like Strode. We have worked with John Jackson, who works at Strode for many years. And
And he lives-
collaborated with him in various ways. Nathaniel has been involved with that, with rain gardens. We've looked at the salinity, and we have people monitoring that. It's just a huge, diverse, and it arises out of what people come forward with and are interested in.
One of the
And-
things we did in media was, years ago, we applied for a grant to create a stormwater master plan. And then since then, all of our subsequent grant proposals were based on the plan and were successful, so we've been slowly putting green water infrastructure.
Well, that's an interesting point, because the borough just went through that with our stormwater issue. And have a plan in place, and I have a meeting with them this afternoon, so I'm gonna have to ask them if they wrote a grant. And if they would share it, so that we could take it and put it into something for the Green Team.
Having plans, so we were doing it piecemeal, so.
Right.
We need to have a master plan, but we had to hire a contractor. to help us go through it with feedback from the engineers and from the.
That was one of my goals this year, was to get a grant for Porchfest, and the two grants that were available, I had applied for in April. which I'm like, okay, that's not gonna help me for this year, but for next year. Anyway, I'm sorry, we're out of time.
We're at 12:50 and we always pause at this point because some students and faculty have to get to a class at 1 o'clock. So if you do need to leave now, please do. But before you leave, please join me in thanking our speakers today. And if there are any other questions and you have time to stay.
A little bit. Nathaniel, you had a question?
Well, I was gonna mention about staying connected and being part of the community. We could invite people to sign up for our monthly newsletter, which lets you know about upcoming events, and there's a lot of good read information. See me.
And the other thing about what media is doing, I think one of the fears when you start getting a board. I'm not a huge advocate of boards just because if they get too big. I find that things don't get accomplished as easily.
So are you talking about the sustainability advisory?
Just you were asking how Green Team works with them or if they're,
Yeah.
part of each other.
Well, those are limited to 7 members, but what we've done to expand it to essentially a green team is to have working groups on each of the issues, and then the working groups can include whoever's interested.
Right, that's what they've
That's what
started to
we-
do. Yeah.
Do you know that we've been involved with media? Media has come to some of our events.
Who media?
It's the woman who got involved with Green Wagons, also personal friends of
Julie
Joni Carley, so is Dawn.
yeah.
You know Joni?
Yeah.
So we've been to some activities over there. They've come to see Doug Talamay. One of your members, I can't remember her name now, came to when we do Lenape activities, we canoe at West Town Lake. She came with her kids.
Was it Julie Smith or?
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, but with the Green Wagon person. She helped us to figure out how to talk to the state about the drift of spray.
This is Julie,
Yeah.
because that's where I was gonna tell you, that's where we are with this. That was a big problem with the drift of spray. A private contractor even came into my garden. And we've been doing this big push. I've been involved in planting
Yeah.
native plants. And I heard them revving up and said, what the hell? And they had the wrong address. They were supposed to be in Swarthmore.
We had something like that happen in
So-
Chester County
So I
too.
reported that to the Department of Agriculture, but we've got, I think it's Jen O'Mara's office, state representative, and they are trying to figure out how to get around the whole issue of local governments can't put
State
a restriction on
yeah,
because of the state
Preemption, yeah,
preemption, yeah.
that's been a big
So-
problem.
So they're working on it. They're not all that confident that it's gonna come out of committee because of who's heading the committee, but they're
Okay,
still pushing on it.
That's a problem we have in many areas
We
right
do.
now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's good, yeah. I was aware of that conversation.
okay.
Well, thank you so much.
There are flyers for the birthday event here, so if they're interested, they can take one.
and thank you, Callie and Brad.
Of
All-
course.
Thank
Thanks everybody for being on Zoom.
Yeah, well, we're so glad you shared this with us. I